Board, member items.
Yes, sir. For the record, Paul Dixon, Clark County. In your December meeting minutes, Commissioner Rain is quoted as saying, it was disclosed that slanderous lies had been made by a committee meeting and at the Las Vegas meeting, and made disclosure that he had no relationship with the proponent and affected votes today. At the beginning of this meeting and comment, Commissioner Rain made comments about slanderous and other remarks made by Elko County Chair Ken Wellington. And I wanted to read to the record NRS Statute 241.0353. It's called Absolute Privilege of Certain Statements and Testimony. Any statement which is made by a member of a public body during the course of a public meeting is absolutely privileged. It does not impose liability for defamation or constitute grounds for recovery in a civil action. The words and the use of the word slanderous by Commissioner Rain are out of line according to the statute the way that I read it, and I can be corrected by either one of the Attorney Generals, Deputy Attorney Generals if I'm wrong. And it says a witness who is testifying before a public body is absolutely privileged to publish defamatory matter as part of a public meeting, except that it is unlawful to misrepresent any fact knowingly when testifying before a public body. So defamatory things can be said and you're protected. So the boards and the public who testify, as long as they are not knowingly lying, are absolutely protected under this NRS statute. And I'd like to stop hearing the words slanderous used by the commissioners on this board, unless they have proof that somebody is knowingly lying. Thank you.
Any other? Go ahead.
Probably right.
Chairman Lent, at our last meeting, one of the public came up to me and asked me to bring this to the board. I'm not sure what course of action we would have, but this is in regards to the pipeline that's going from the Rubies through Washoe County up into Oregon. And it's already been published that they're going to put in temporary housing up in Via for 800 people. And the concern is what kind of impact that is going to have to the wildlife up in Washoe County. And I don't know if anybody has an answer for that, but I think that it certainly should be something worth discussing, and we try and look at what impact that would have and what, if anything, we can do to try and minimize that impact.
Well, I didn't go to the county commission, but they said they've got a fund, so when they're done, if they're all done with these, they take them down. They're going to restore the habitat and the landscape to what it was, but I don't know.
That only addresses the landscape. It doesn't address the real impact to wildlife.
Are you referring to the whole pipeline or just the area where they're doing the housing?
I'm referring to the impact it's going to have on Washoe County, putting temporary housing for 800 people up in northern Washoe. I hunted that area this year, and I can tell you I was up there scouting 3 different times from July to October. In July, I spent 3 days there, and I never saw one vehicle in 3 days. I was up there in September, and I was up there twice in October. When I hunted in October, I saw 4 vehicles the whole time I was up there for 4 days.
This is the only camp they're going to have on the pipeline, because when the other place on the pipeline is near a city or a town where they can put their workers, and this stretch is so isolated, they're going to come in with a camp and put it in. The Washoe County Commission approved it last week.
So, again, I don't know what kind of recourse or anything what we can do about it, but I think we should at least bring it up, talk about it, and try and do whatever we can to try and minimize the impact.
It's been approved by the county. Commissioner Cavan?
My thinking would be that maybe Dave Pulliam and Habitat, or one of the other divisions that's maybe following that, could give us an update next meeting, or maybe provide some information to the CAB so they don't know what's going on. Or we wait till next night. Timing's kind of bad because a month will go by, or
I understand.
will go by, but we could get an update from staff, hopefully.
Maybe you can get together with them and they could write a letter to them.
Well, I'd be happy to get with Dave and see what we can do, but we're going to have it on our topic for the next meeting, and I was just kind of requesting it. Maybe, if nothing else but informational, you can have it on your agenda for the next meeting.
Right.
Okay?
Submit that to me, would you, so I remember it?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no other county board items, let's go to public comment period and have a public comment period. Anybody from public wish to comment, step on up.
Brandon 14. I have a couple issues. I want to start off with kind of the manner of the meetings, what was spoke of a minute ago. Chairman Lentz made it perfectly clear that he won't tolerate any slander of the commissioners of any sort, and I think it should go both ways. When someone's up here speaking, I don't think they should be interrupted and drilled. May it be different opinion of the person on. Sitting in the public, I don't like to see Mr. Raines being on that last motion, that, you know, that being blackmailed, this and that. Well, the general public, we all felt the same as a commission votes down one heritage tag when the whole public and every cab wants two. I don't think that's a professional manner of conducting business. Okay, aside from that, yesterday we heard a lot about the deer, and I think that's great. We all talk about there's this big push to bring back our deer herds. Even though we're talking about our deer herd population now is real close to the 100-year average, what it ever was. So when we talk about bringing them back, bringing them to what, a one-time peak, which is a good thing. Everybody here would love to see 250,000 deer out there. But I hate seeing other things go by the wayside when we're talking about all game animals in Nevada. We want to talk about bring back animals. What about the desert sheep that once occupied Nevada throughout the entire state? I don't have exact numbers, but say 80,000 sheep. I would say we're far lower on desert sheep than we ever are for deer right now. Why aren't we bringing them back? The elk. Why do we only have 11,000 elk and we could have 50,000? I just want to see a push for every issue as equal importance as we're putting on the deer herd. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, let's go on to the last item.